Traditional schooling terms, it was a big problem. I mean, I would sit at the back of the class, look at the blackboard, and it was just a jumble.
Richard Branson is a British billionaire, entrepreneur, and business magnate. In the 1970s, he founded the Virgin Group, which today controls more than 400 companies in various fields. In March 2000, Branson was knighted at Buckingham Palace for services to entrepreneurship for his work in retail, music, and transport, with interests in land, air, sea, and space travel, his taste for adventure, and for his humanitarian work. He's become a prominent global figure. In 2007, he was placed on the Time 100 Most Influential People in the World list. In 2000, Branson was inducted into the International Air and Space Hall of Fame at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. Richard's also a well-known philanthropist and has appeared in several TV shows and movies, mainly as himself.
I generally excelled, and what I was interested in was what was going on in the world.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Richard Charles Nicholas Branson, but is also known as Rich. He was born July 18, 1950 in Blackheath, London, England, making him 72 at the time of this production. He stands at 1.791 meters or 5 feet 10 inches. He's a huge fan of the television series Thunderbirds and has named a fleet of rescue locomotives for Virgin trains after Thunderbird's craft. He's a huge fan of the Star Trek franchise and named the first spacecraft of his Virgin Galactic venture VSS Enterprise and the second one VSS Voyager. Branson is an experienced kite surfer and holds world records in the sport. As a well-known daredevil, he was injured in a bicycling accident in the British Virgin Islands in August 2016. He tore ligaments and cracked his cheek and was flown to Miami for treatment. In 2017, Branson's Necker Island home was hit by Hurricane Irma and left uninhabitable. It was the second time the Necker Island home has been badly damaged. In 2011, the home was struck by lightning during Hurricane Irene and caught fire. In November 2017, singer Antonia Janae, a backing singer for Joss Stone, claimed Branson sexually assaulted her at Necker Island by putting his head between her cleavage and making boat engine noises, a practice that, when performed consensually, is known as motorboating. A spokesperson for Branson confirmed to the Sun newspaper that members of the band had been invited for a party on the island in 2010, but that he and friends and family in attendance had no recollection of the events and that there would never have been any intention to offend or make anyone feel uncomfortable. Richard apologizes if anyone felt that way. On July 11, 2021, Richard Branson took a flight with Beth Moses, Sarisha Bandla, and Colin Bennett and reached the edge of space on a Virgin Galactic spacecraft called VSS Unity. This made him the first billionaire founder of a space company to travel to the edge of space. In March 2015, Branson said that almost all drug use should be decriminalized in the UK, following the example of Portugal. In 1972, Branson married Kristen Tomasi. They divorced in 1979. He met his second wife, Joan Templeman, in 1976 and had a daughter, Holly, in 1981 and a son, Sam, in 1985 before marrying in 1989 on Necker Island. He stated in an interview with Piers Morgan that he and Joan also had a daughter named Claire Sarah, who died when she was 4 days old in 1979.
Doorstop them. And because I was young and enthusiastic, they generally took pity on me.
He has 2 younger sisters. He was not a good student due to having dyslexia. On his last day of school, the headmaster famously told Richard he'd either end up in prison or become a millionaire. Decades later, Richard would prove that prediction correct 5,000 times over. Branson showed entrepreneurial tendencies from an early age, and his parents were supportive of his efforts. Branson launched a magazine called Student in 1966 when he was 16. The first issue debuted in January 1968. At the same time, Branson started a mail-order record company out of his basement of his local church. He used the magazine as a companion to his record business, advertising popular albums in it to drive sales. His small record business was an instant success, and since his overhead was less than half that of the large record stores in London, he was able to sell his copies at a lower price. His record business became known as Virgin, in reference to the fact that everyone involved in the venture had virtually no experience at all in life or business. In the early 1970s, Branson opened his first record store in London. Once Branson had earned enough money from his record store, he launched his record label, Virgin Records. Branson's label signed controversial acts that other companies were hesitant to sign, such as the Sex Pistols. Virgin went on to sign the Rolling Stones, Peter Gabriel, XTC, UB40, Steve Winwood, and Paula Abdul. In 1980, Virgin Records went international. In the summer of 1984, he launched his transatlantic airline company, Virgin Atlantic Airways. From there, he launched Virgin Express, Virgin Nigeria, and Virgin America. He merged with the UK-based communications provider NTL in 2006 to form Virgin Media. He also founded the train company Virgin Trains. In September 2004, Branson announced the formation of Virgin Galactic, a space exploration company. Its goal is to take paying passengers into suborbital space. Branson also launched Virgin Fuels in response to global warming and the spike in fuel costs. Its aim is to explore alternative fuels. In 2010, Virgin Hotels was launched. In February 2018, Branson announced the first Virgin Hotel in the UK would open in Edinburgh. He's authored the books Losing My Virginity, How I've Survived, Had Fun, and Made a Fortune Doing Business My Way, Screw It, Let's Do It, Business Stripped Bare, Reach for the Skies, Ballooning, Birdmen, and Blasting into Space, and The Virgin Way, How to Listen, Learn, Laugh, and Lead.
Had scratches and slipped, or virgin, and one of the girls laughed and said, well, we're all virgins and you're virgin at business, why don't you call it Virgin?
Richard Branson earned his fortune as the CEO of the Virgin Group. Richard Branson's business ventures include Virgin Megastores, Virgin Airways, Virgin Mobile, and Virgin Galactic. He also makes money by writing books and appearing in various TV shows. He has a net worth of $5 billion. Branson bought 74-acre Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands in 1976 for $180,000. At the time, it was uninhabited. He promised to build a resort within 5 years, or ownership of the island would revert to the state. He accomplished that goal, and today you can rent the island for about $65,000 per day. That gets you 2 private beaches, pools, tennis courts, a personal chef, and a staff of 100. Branson owns the Lodge in Verbier in the Swiss Alps. The 9-bedroom chalet is considered to be the most luxurious home in the Swiss Alps. It's in a prime position to take advantage of world-class skiing and snowboarding. In 2015, Branson purchased an estate in Mallorca, Spain for the second time for about $14.3 million. He aims to convert the estate into the very best eco-resort in Europe. He owns the following cars: a Humber Super Snipe, a Gibbs Aquata, a Fisker Karma, a Range Rover Astronaut Edition, a Rolls-Royce, he owns a Falcon 50EX private jet.